Welcome back, everyone. I'm Rabbi Nadia Gross. I'm the co-founder and chief programming officer for Yerusha.
And I'm Kohenet Ruach Devorah Gren, founding director of the Lilith Institute and Mishkan Shekhinah.
And we're here in week 2 of a 7-week period where Ruach Devorah and I, the collaboration of the Lilith Institute and Yerusha, are introducing once again the qualities on the tree of life as we go up the tree now toward the new year. We are in week 2 as we speak.
Yesod has the qualities of foundation, connection, generativity, creativity, communication, and more. It integrates and balances Netzach and Hod, the 2 sfirot or energy essences that we will be exploring in the next 2 weeks. Yesod brings the life force of all the sfirot into the tree, on the tree, into Shekhinah. Yesod personally grounds me, brings me back into balance. Every time I call on Yesod, I sink into it first as foundation, my roots and rootedness, a sense of stability sometimes. I'm brought back, at least for a few minutes, into alignment and often into connection with my ancestors. Although one of its characteristics is also ego, when I meditate on it, it can take me out of my egoic self and into a sense of reconnection with deity, with my beloveds, with my community. My moral compass and perhaps some of my deepest guiding values live here in the Kabbalistic world of Asiya, the world of action and manifestation where Yesod resides. It's the place from which I've made many decisions. It shares qualities similar to the root chakra and our ground of being.
That's beautiful, because Yesod, which means foundation in Hebrew, is the place where the full blueprint for creation comes together in its perfected state. Right? I see in Yesod all of the attributes of the tree that have contributed to creation have come together in this beautiful dance, so that everything is fully present, and in the mind or the intention of the creator, that perfect blueprint exists. Now, last week in Malchut Shekhinah, we acknowledged our imperfections, because somehow in the process of everything being channeled through Yesod into Malchut Shekhinah, a design flaw occurs. And so we live in an imperfect world. But this week in Yesod, we live in the intention that is still perfect. Here, we can imagine the perfected world that we wish to co-create at the end of this 7 weeks as we enter a new year. So in Yesod, we get to play with not only that promise of perfection, that imagination that we have, but our generativity, our ability to create something new. And we are stepping up to this co-creative responsibility, both with the creator itself and with all other beings that live in this created world. So we have to engage trust. That's such a critical attribute in Yesod. It's essential to the co-creative process. So the questions that I would be asking myself this week is, do I trust in my own capacity to bring to manifestation something wondrous and more perfected than what we've had in this past year? And do I trust in those with whom I partner in this co-creative process? Am I trustworthy? Can I be trusted in my relationships with other living beings, including the non-human world? And will I dare in this week ahead to see the sacred in everything, in all things? Because if we can enter into a new year honoring, witnessing the sacredness of all that is, we can't help but create a more benevolent and more perfected realm.
Wonderful challenges. Thank you. We close with a prayer again. Source of life, we greet you today as every day with gratitude for our breath, for the oxygen we receive from the tree beings, or as Charlie Toledo calls them, the tree people, for our sight, our hearing, all our senses. Help us to always remember to thank them by sending back carbon dioxide through our breath and giving them other nutrients they need to thrive. Yesod, you who ground me, we thank you for clarity, for discernment, for our roots, our lineages, for the miracles of our bodies, our trunks, which get us from place to place, our bodies, which can at times, but not always, miraculously heal themselves. Thank you for our branches, which receive the inspiration required for us to grow if we keep our eyes, ears, and minds open. And we thank you for leading us to discover that which sustains us, the situations, gifts of nature, and personal connections which feed our minds and hearts, which let us know we're alive. Let us find ways to stay connected to each other, to expand our communities, to make the effort required to reach across to those of not like minds, of different backgrounds. Such practices can only expand and beautify our world, enriching our history, the ability to envision and create a future we want to leave as our legacy. Selah. Amen.
Amen. See you next week.
Till next week.